America has nearly 1 million good cops, 700,000 if you add them all up. Great men, great women, and they're doing a great job. And back when America was truly great, we were not afraid to celebrate that. Who remembers Hill Street Blues, one of the greatest shows ever on television? Wow, in the mean streets of Chicago, this was a gritty, realistic look at law enforcement in the 80s. And you know what? Yeah, they didn't skip over the bad stuff. These cops were human beings. They did heroic things. Sometimes they screwed up. We learned all about that guy's dating life. We had the old-timer in the squad room cheering everybody on. This was good stuff. The whole family could like it. And oh, by the way, diverse cast. And they talked about issues. I love this show. And now a show like this is about as foreign as they come, because you won't see any shows like this greenlit for a long, long time. America loves cops, and America used to love cop shows. They're going away. Who remembers over the years? What do we have? Yeah, Starsky and Hutch. Those guys could be brutal, though. A whole bunch of them. Over the years, we love these shows because America loves cops. We know that they are there for us. Like any business, like any profession, there are going to be some bad ones. But everybody seems to have been brainwashed about what they do for the community. A year of normalized violence has turned public opinion, for the most part, certainly media opinion, against cops. Every night, every day, we are told about the cops' latest mistake, and it may or may not have been a mistake. They're taking little tidbits and exaggerating them, sensationalizing them. And this is apart from George Floyd. They're looking for the latest incident that they can magnify, that they can hype. And you know what? There are a lot of lawyers out there trying to make money off this because there's big money to be made. Where does this leave cops? After they've been stigmatized, after they've been demonized, what is it like for them on the streets right now? Take a look at what should be a routine traffic stop in Los Angeles County. Actually, this is kind of routine in a way.
Speed limit is 40, and I was going 38, so why are you harassing me?
You're correct. I pulled you over
because you're a murderer.
Because
yes, I started to record because you're a murderer.
You can't be on your cell phone while you're driving.
I wasn't on my phone. I was recording you because you scared me.
You can't use your cell phone while you're recording.
I can record you.
May I have your driver's license?
It's at my apartment.
What's your apartment?
It's at my home. I'm just taking my son to his
Do you have your driver's license?
I mistakenly left it at home.
Called him a murderer a couple of times. At that point, if I'm the cop, ma'am, step out of the car. You're going downtown. Good thing I'm not a cop. What happened next?
And so you're giving me a cell phone ticket? Is that why you're harassing me?
Not harassment. Yeah. I am enforcing the law.
I have a right to record the police when they're harassing me.
By all means, but you can't do it while you're driving.
I wasn't texting or none of that.
Do you have that picture?
You scared me and made me think you were going to murder me.
Okay, well, I'm sorry you feel that way.
Well, that's not just a feeling. You're a murderer.
Okay.
You're a murderer. Now, this is a terrible person, I think, who's been pulled over, but maybe she's just listening to all the fake news, all the hype, all the left-wing nonsense. There's more.
Can you zoom in on that for me,
Sure.
Jay? Thank you.
And I'm perfectly legal, and I'm a teacher. So there.
Congratulations.
Murderer. You're a murderer.
What's your last name? I can't see that there.
Well,
if
here you go,
Stop
murderer.
shaking. Zoom in on that for me,
No,
right?
because you're scaring me.
Oh,
you're threatening to kill me and my son. Can you give me
okay.
the
Well,
iPad,
I'll tell you what, you keep smiling,
yeah,
you're on camera.
You're trying to threaten to kill me.
Are you angry? I'm angry. This is bad. This is bad stuff. And she's a teacher. But it gets even uglier. Believe it or not, it gets uglier.
There you go, ma'am. Sign inside the red box right there.
For him being a Mexican racist. What is that name? Gasso.
It's on the citation, ma'am.
Here you go, Mexican racist. You're always going to be a Mexican. You'll never be white. You know that, right? You'll never be white, which is what you really want to be.
There you go, dear.
White.
Have a good day.
You want to be white so bad.
Most of the media are not talking about this story at all. And this might be a small reason why. They blurred out the face of the driver. Let's take another look. Okay, she happens to be a person of color. Now, normally that would make no difference to me. However, in this current climate, the media seem interested in some stories involving some races and not others. Know what I mean?
A white police officer charged with murder in the death of an apparently unarmed black man.
The police officer, who was white and who was caught on a cell phone recording.
The officer who shot and killed him was white.
That's when they're interested in race. That's when. All right. And now anyone who is felled by police violence is automatically a legend, automatically a hero of national importance.
The Reverend Al Sharpton delivered a passionate eulogy in which he called for federal action through the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act.
How many funerals do we have to have before we tell the Congress and the Senate that you've got to do something in these times?
It's been nearly 2 weeks since Andrew Brown was killed by deputies as they carried out a warrant. His family has seen some body camera footage, but they want to see more, and a judge delayed the public release of that video. Evidence suggests he was shot from behind.
Nobody knows the full story yet. It's still under review, but there's Al Sharpton eulogizing a man he never met. All right, then CBS was on to the next crime of the moment. An unfortunate situation. And cops were involved in a lot of unfortunate situations. This time they had to arrest a shoplifter in her 70s who might have had dementia. Take a look at this.
Officer Daria Jalali comes around to assist, and that's when you hear a pop. Miss Garner collapses in pain before the officers push her to the ground again. I'm going home, she keeps repeating. This is an 80-pound woman with dementia. She was accused of stealing $13.88 worth of items from the nearby Walmart. Store security caught her, and she returned the items. But despite that, the police officers wanted to arrest her.
She was confused and scared. She didn't understand what was going on.
I watched the video and I thought to myself, how did he not realize she just keeps saying, I'm going home? Maybe there's something else at play here.
As the reporter seemed impartial there, he's about to break up in tears. Lots of things that we can't see there. 80 pounds, the cops don't know that. Look, I know it may not be ideal. Mistakes happen suddenly. Mistakes like this are on the national news every single day. And you got people who make many millions of dollars a year sitting back in judgment.
Yeah, sickening is the word. And, it's not like she was combative when she just said, I'm going home. I mean, to a police officer, though, you're resisting, you're disobeying.
Yeah.
And that instantly makes it ramp up for many of them. I don't know how you train people in humanity.
Yeah.
Because when you're looking at that lady, she's 80, let's start with 80 pounds.
Yeah.
80 pounds. She's clearly, something is a little different about her. But to throw her on the ground and to handcuff her that way. And listen, I'm very pro-cop. I really like police officers, actually. But that you have to have empathy in this job. And they showed that woman no empathy, no respect, no grace, no nothing.
She's in that cell with no medical attention.
Yes.
So that's not a deficit in training. That's a deficit in humanity, as you point out, rightly so.
What a bunch of smug experts, huh? How many people have they ever arrested, had to arrest? That is a tough position. And how about their humanity? How about their empathy for a law enforcement officer? I know she said she likes cops. Lately, it doesn't seem that way. Sitting there second-guessing every single time. And yes, she makes $11 million a year. You know how much a cop makes in Loveland, Colorado? A senior police officer makes $62,000 a year. How many multiples of that would it take to get to 11 million? A lot. Imagine if the media wore body cameras all the time. If we could see everything that they do, everything that they say. A lot of them, folks, are not nice people. Every now and then we get a glimpse of it. We'll see something pop up on TV, on the internet. Remember when this reporter got really mad at somebody who was just applying makeup to her face, wanted her to make her look better on TV? Stuff like this. The internet is full of moments like this. And sometimes they can be very revealing. We all know about Jeffrey Epstein. It would have been nice to know about him a lot earlier, don't you think? Well, apparently one reporter wanted to break the story, but they wouldn't let her.
I've had the story for 3 years. I've had this interview with Virginia Roberts. We would not put it on the air. First of all, I was told, who's Jeffrey Epstein? No one knows who that is. This is a stupid story. It was unbelievable what we had. Clinton, we had everything. I tried for 3 years to get it on, to no avail, and now it's all coming out, and it's like these new revelations, and I freaking had all of it.
All right, so they're not very nice and not very honest either. So it makes total sense that the American people don't trust the mainstream media, huh? Take a look at some of these numbers. 60% of Americans have little to zero trust in the media. That's from Gallup just last year. So they shouldn't be surprised when scenes like this erupt all over the country. All right, I got to admit it. It's music to my ears. We'll be right back.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel, now in more than 70 million homes. You can get Newsmax TV on your cable system or check your cable guide. And if your system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them, tell them you want Newsmax TV, because we're real news for real people.